Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4 as Fascist Mexico. So, I've recorded a lot of episodes, like 7, and then it turns out the Windows had changed my microphone so that basically the audio was terrible. So we're going to redo them, which for you means nothing, but for me means I'm going to be incredibly jaded for the next, well, the rest of the recording, until we get to many years in the future. So we've got some invasions to do. Let's do the invasion of the last part of Canada, Haida. I'll be completely honest, I'm not invading it because I particularly want it. I'm invading it because I can't pronounce the name, and that's the way, like, we can rename it. Basically, you can rename it if you own it. That's the rule. It's not actually a thing in game. Anyone was actually wondering I knew something, you know, interesting there. No, it's just I'm saying that. I'm crap talking. Right, let's get some submarines. Got a 50% discount. Submarines sound very nice. Oh, actually, we do need aircraft. Yeah, we need naval aircraft for our carriers. We also have just unlocked carriers, which is, you know, great. Who is done with carriers? Well, you will be done on the 22nd. We're going to switch over to making carriers. Right, how's our invasion going? In fact, let's just quickly tell you to hold here. That way we should get the coastal bonus. There we go. They've been defended by a tank. Interesting choice. They don't have much HP, and we now have our shore bombardment. They are entrenched, and we can't pierce their armor. They lose 50% less organization and take 50% less damage. And it does an extra, like, 50% organization damage to us when it attacks. I still think we got this, but it might just take a little while. Also, we're kind of full on experience right now, so we should probably spend some. And we're going to do that by editing the motorized division. I'm going to give them support artillery, because why not? Engineers, because it increases speed through some terrain. Recon company, because I love recon companies. And a field hospital, because we need to... Anyone who dies, we need to try and have a chance to resurrect them. So yeah, we're going to grab that. And then... Can we collapse this? Ah, it's beautiful. I love that mod. I think that's a mod. I don't think that was in the latest patch. Wait, no, wrong one. Ah! Train. And we're going to train you... Can we train you over here? No. Okay, we'll have to try. In Baja, California. Why not? And we will train... At first 12. Got to be a bit cautious of our manpower situation, but at first 12. Okay. Right. Back to the real war. They've got no one in reserve. We got 3 units in reserve at least. It's just going to take a while. Right. A lot of people have asked me, in the interim, we'll just talk about other things, why I haven't joined the fascists. There's several reasons for this. The biggest reason, I will say, is because, well, I want to make it more difficult for myself. But secondly, if I get on the side of the fascists, I am tied to whether they win or lose. Which you might not think is a big thing. However, they're actually doing very well. Look, Netherlands have actually took a chunk. United Kingdom took a chunk. If the fascists go down... I can keep any land I grab off them if I declare a war late on. Whereas if I get into war on their side, I have to win for the fascists then get resurrected, then I have to fight them. Whereas if I just let the fascists die and then grab land in the last few days... Ooh, what do we get? We've got Heavy Cruisers 2. We're going to grab Heavy Cruisers 3, got 50% discount. Also, I don't think it's worth upgrading to Heavy Cruisers 2 on our production, because by the time that's flowed through... Heavy Cruisers 3 will be ready. But yeah, basically, by not tying ourselves to the fate of the fascists, we can take advantage of any land that they may expose in the last days of existence. We can go grab, say, large parts of Japan. Which would be nice, because I've got a lot of resources down here that I want. That said, they might be owned by France. I guess we'll find out. We need to build more... Actually, yeah, we really need to build more stuff. That's actually the last of our civilian factories. Whoopsie. Naval bases. Military factory. You're good there with infrastructure. Oh, we can build a naval dockyard there. Hello. We're still working on that. Any more naval dockyards? Hawaii. Good call, Hawaii. Line Isles. Samoa. Ooh, and all down here, which I completely forgot was a thing. Technically, we should put MPs over here. Yeah. I mean, at the same time, I guess we do have troops here. Might be okay with that. One thing I do want to do later on when I've got spare time is I'll build some forts, and I'll just build them along the Mexico-US border, and we'll make the Americans pay for them. They'll be paid by American taxes. We will make a wall, and we'll make them pay for it. But for now, maybe we'll start building some coastal forts in places where we might get invaded on the East Coast, because we have had this East Coast warning for quite a while. There we go, there we go. There we go. I think you're there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That is a lot of naval forts that we might just end up, like, pushing to the bottom of the queue because we've got more important stuff to do. But for now, actually, we don't have many places that we can build. So, that's fine. Continue on. Please win the fight. Ooh, I forgot. Production. We're going to make... well, these ones are nearly done now. 7th of January. We'll give them 3 more days. I was going to upgrade the heavy cruisers to... Actually, I was going to side grade them. Not side grade them. I was going to completely change them. They were going to be carriers. Fleet and being, lovely. However, I kind of think we've got more important stuff to do than researching doctrines for fleet and being. Like, for instance, we could be researching a land doctrine at 50%, which we need to go all the way down here to desperate defense and non-discriminatory conscription, which we need because we need the extra population. Especially if we're going to get involved in land war in Asia, which is our current goal. And I believe that's our queue. Yeah, heavy cruisers. We would like to switch you to carrier. Carrier, and we need chromium. Great. Just great. Fine. Who can we get chromium from? Soviet Union. We'll get one more that we need for now. Come on. You got this. I believe in you. Tanks are nearly gone. Come on. Impending assault in the Caribbean. How are we doing over here? 97. Hello, little tank. 98. There we go. Bloody hell. Took a while. Right, are you ready to attack? Yeah, like 20 days. So that would be a hell yes. Right, let's grab the Navy. Let's grab the full Navy. Get them to group up. And I think you should come to my fleet anyway, so I'm going to move the fleet over here. And we are going to... I think it's... We don't actually need to do this one. I think the Marina region, we only spend like 1 province in it, which is off the shore, and I think we already have view of that. So let's patrol Bismarck Sea, Philippine Sea, and that should be enough. Okay. And there's 5. Guess we could prepare an invasion over here. Just because it kind of annoys me that it's off the coast. That said, Cuba might be another idea. Oh, pardon me. Cuba might be another idea to invade. Big reason, it has chromium, which we now actually need. 160 chromium. That's pretty good. I didn't know about that. The downside is it's probably where they're basing all of their invasions from, because it's the closest allied port that has a large amount of infrastructure and, you know, space. So it could be difficult to take. And actually, in my experience, Cuba is very difficult to take because they really defend these ports very well. So we'd need air power and stuff to do that. In terms of... what's going on here, I've changed up how the... what do you call them? Like the guard unit? Not really guard unit, what are they called? Defense? Holding unit? What happens when you hold something? You garrison, the garrison unit on the coast. I have told them not to do it by doing the hold a front line thing, which was just not working, a fallback line, because they were just evenly spaced down the fallback line. They were actually picking places on it. If we did the garrison order, I think it's a garrison order, isn't it? Yeah. In my experience from the saves that I did terrible voiceover for, they were actually choosing to just leave ports alone and garrisoning inland towns and sometimes actually not garrisoning things on the edge at all. And it was weird. And frankly, I put that down to bad AI in that case. And it was terrible. It was terrible. So what I've done is in between episodes, I've gone and I've placed one unit in each port. And I've actually got two down here because I have a spare unit. And quite frankly, I think I'd like to defend the ones in Florida pretty heavily. Because if I was going to land, I'd land in Florida. Minimum space to go. And it is easy to cut off from the rest of the US, and it's got 3 ports. And that's actually where I have done my landings before, so I kind of have experience with that. Build aircraft. What can we build? Well, let's build some close air support, because we will need them. Only a little bit for now. Which will probably change to a lot later on. Oh, there we go. And some more units to garrison. Do I want you to be garrison units? For now, I think so, yes. And what we'll do is we will... It's probably easier if I just put you on a new unit. That way you will stay here permanently. Which one of you has support? How do I tell? You, okay. You go to there. You go to there. So we'll double up on these. 4 more. That way it'll be a 24 garrison. 2 more. And then we grab this unit and we add to you. You, on the other hand, will manually tell to walk over here. And the problem is if we manually tell them to walk, they walk. Boring. We'll try doing strategic redeploy. In my experience, they actually completely ignore that. And we'll tell you to go here. Arm effort. Lovely. Right. Since we've got armor effort, I'm kind of thinking aviation. We need to do something with aircraft. As for our fleet, we should be almost there. Oh, hello. Oh, here we go. Wow. That is a strong invasion. Actually, a very strong invasion. We should be able to kick them back if we get another troop over there. What's this? Terrain. Ooh. I guess attacking into a marsh is pretty difficult. Oh, hello. Another one as well. Well, I guess I called it just in time. Right. If you're gonna move, please do it by strategic redeployment, because we need the extra forces. Right, get you to move down here, and then get you to move back. You need it. They can actually fight their way through single units, which is worrying. What we need is some subs off the coast and maybe some naval bombers, both of which we need to research. Yeah, we kick them back. Sweet. Okay. Still a dangerous naval invasion. Ah, they tried and failed. And we're in low supply over here. Well, that is going to just be the case. One more day. Do it. Do it now. Do it better. Now, here's another lovely example of the AI. I know from previous experience it's going to allocate 1 unit, and 30 units. Because the AI is absolutely amazing like that when it comes to allocating units for naval invasions. I don't know why it goes 1, 30. But it does. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. There we go. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Right. Oh, hello. Just kick you out of there. We want the port. We need to be able to get resources and stuff. Come on. Also, we should probably pull our navy back. And although it risks conflict with the Royal Navy by going onto this coast, they really are pushing hard. We will want to get up around Newfoundland, patrol there. Just so that we can do the invasion. Flicking between the United States and down the Philippines, I am very much afraid that we are going to lose something while I'm not looking. Not something I can really control, though. Okay, now bear in mind, we don't have reinforcements at the moment because we do not have a port, so we need to capture this port. Very, very important. I'm going to stop saying important. Every time I hear that terrible pun, I'm just going to say it's very, very key to our job. Let's grab subs, that'll help defend the coast. We'll intercept any convoys to send with troops and we'll just murder them all. Great War Tank. Now, we could go down the light tank. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could go down heavy tank. 1, 2, 3. It's actually quicker to go down heavy. You know what? I like the idea since we have the industry of doing heavy tanks. They're not great. They're very slow. But why not? We're also not going to do great tanks because I think they completely count as a different tree to the rest of the tanks, so I don't actually get any of my construction carrying over. However, we've got... Ooh, you're nearly ready to get upgraded to Heavy Cruiser 3 in 3 days. Okay. We'll make another carrier for now. Didn't manage to pin you down. What did the rest of the work? Right. New front line. You're assigned. Push to here and have fun. Okay. Extend you to there. Does that work? Probably. Awesome. We grab the port, and that's what matters right now. What are we missing? Let me guess. Is it rubber? It is rubber. We really need to capture more rubber. There's, like, no other way to do it at the moment. They are still pushing hard for this beachhead. In fact, 12 units. They really want that beachhead. They're not having it. But just flat out, no. No, no, no. And you're getting Heavy Cruiser 3, and you're getting Heavy Cruiser 3. Awesome. Now, let's take a few fighters off. Especially at this early stage, where fighters aren't quite as good. And we'll do the same for you. Oh god, no, 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 don't overfill. The same for you. Oh, hello. We found a light cruiser Royal Navy, and it ran away. Mainly because we might have run away as well, because we're en route. I don't think we stay and fight if we're en route. Why are you not over here? Oh, dear God. Why? Okay, well, you will be over there relatively soon. Like, you know, a couple of months or something. The invasion of the Philippines is going well. Not as fast as I would have liked. We got slowed down by having to grab that port, which was defended. Well, then again, what did I expect? I actually expect to be undefended. Because I know. Because when I recorded the episode last time, it was undefended. Not that I did anything differently, because I had extra knowledge. So it appears that the timelines have split. Nothing will be the same. In fact, I actually don't remember being attacked quite this early in the eastern United States. So it looks like the timelines have split. Interesting. Huh. Also, I've got rid of the colored production interface mod because I was having issues with it. I think it was slowing down the game quite a lot. The game had recently had a hotfix update, so that might have been something to do with that. But for now, I've removed that mod. I've also added the mod which allows us to have more production icons. So we now have, like, all of these. Ah, so good. I can actually pick, you know, applicable tanks rather than having to pick silly ones with lightning bolts like this. I can actually start picking decent ones. But we're getting the episode here. I have been EnterElysium. If you have enjoyed, please run a like. Not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Whoa, not enough equipment to train? That's lies. Complete lies. Everyone else's equipment, why do you not? There we go. But until next time, just remember to stay shiny.